Good day, fellow cinema nerds and movie geeks on the internet. You're watching Deano Reviews. Today we're looking at Now You See Me 2. Yes, this movie actually came out quite a while ago. And when I say that, I don't mean like in America and it's only just come to the UK. I mean it's been in the UK for a while now, for about a couple of weeks or so. And only now I mustered up the energy to go. I've seen the first one. I could see it for free. I might as well. That wasn't showing off. I said, oh, might as well. I didn't do that with Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 or 5. Yes, 4. Yeah, it's not. And with that, I wasn't like, oh, I saw the other ones that I could see for free. No, this one, I think I would, be less tortured than seeing Alvin and the Chipmunks 4. I saw the first one, so I'll see this one. It's a bit like Bad Neighbours 2. But with that one, I thought, made me laugh. Potentially, didn't really make me laugh, as far as I remember. So, okay, let's just get right into it. I didn't make any notes. I'm actually going to make like 2 other videos after this. One talking about... Actually, no, if I say that, then it'll just seem out of order. Okay, this is... I'm probably going to upload this after the first topic video, and then it's like in the middle, but... Okay, Now You See Me 2. Okay, there's a few movies I'm currently trying to keep up on. I'm thinking about seeing The Secret Life of Pets. A few others. I mean, I missed like Warcraft and stuff, but maybe if I ever get the chance to see it without buying it, because I didn't have that high amount of interest in seeing it, I would. But this one, I saw the first one, and I thought, why not? I had nothing to do on a Friday night. I mean, I could have done some things, but I thought, just a trip to the cinema. I felt like I haven't really been to the cinema in a while. No way. Last week I saw Central Intelligence and Ghostbusters. I've got my 2 bottles of water here because it's almost midnight. I don't want to speak too loudly, but I have a feeling I'm gonna lose my voice. Man, I look really shiny. Not even that hot. Oh yeah, so it's very hot in this country right now, England. And yes, I'll bandwagon on the joke. It's never hot here. It's always raining. It is always raining. I kind of gotten used to that. I think British people have evolved to not be as cold in the weather. Like we could be in Alaska, and the people in Alaska are like, oh, it's freezing. Like, now this is average Wednesday, average Sunday, rainy Sunday. That's our thing. No, that's not true. We're just used to it. Being rainy and cloudy, like it's sure to be cloudy. Cloudy going outside, cloudly. I don't know what I just said, but anywho, it's very hot. My favorite. I shouldn't have a favorite season. I have a lot of favorite things. I have a favorite food, favorite letter. Why, I don't know. Makes me unique, but don't know what that was. That's the thing with these videos. I just do stuff and then I just go, oh, that was weird, and then I go on to the next thing. But I like winter because Christmas, snow, cold. So you get you're warm inside. It's all warm and toasty, and you don't have to have a reason to go outside because it's so cold. Because I'm lazy and procrastinating. But anywho, there you go. Came for a Now You See Me 2 thoughts. You got a nice bit of chatter. How's it going on with me? I hope you're doing well. Whoever's watching this. If you wanted to see Now You See Me 2, you probably would have watched it in cinemas by now, or just listen to other bigger people's thoughts. Even though on YouTube, we're all the same, we're all content creators, we're all just average folk making videos, like me. But, The Rock has a YouTube channel, so that probably doesn't stand for much anymore. I'm Jimmy Fallon, so that probably doesn't stand for much. But, okay, Now You See Me 2, I'm not going to spoil anything, because I don't want to be that guy who said, well, if you wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now. There's like me, like who said, oh, I want to see that movie in cinema, so I'll just wait till it was on DVD, and then some arsehole will go like, oh, you would have seen it by now anyway, here's a spoiler. I'm not going to be like that. Hopefully I'm speaking loud enough for you to hear. Okay, Now You See Me 2. Okay. I've watched Jeremy John's review. He said it was mediocre. I've heard other thoughts of this movie, but for the most part, the general reception has been it's mediocre, is in the middle, mixed. What did I think of it? Kind of ticked me off. I didn't have a lot of fun with it. I thought it was kind of crap. Not abysmal, not horrendous, absolutely not. More of a, like I think most people are like 5 out of 10. Me, it's like a 4 out of 10. So it's below average. It kind of ticked me off at moments. But it's weird. because if you take Ghostbusters, I know I'm tired of hearing about it too. In 2016, I'm tired about hearing of Ghostbusters, where a year ago I was like, oh, Ghostbusters, love that, you know, Bill Murray, and now I'm like, yep, Ghostbusters, yep, that is a nap kicking up a fuss. But if you take that, well, yeah, well, okay, if you take that Ghostbusters, a lot of people are more tipped off at Ghostbusters because it's bandwagoning off the nostalgia of a very good film. Now, a lot of people like me grew up on, and it's just a cash grab. But and a lot of people were more annoyed with that film, even though there was a lot of reviews I watched that said I had fun with it. It was mediocre, even though that was flooded with hate anyway, because it just meant it wasn't called the scum of the earth and makes me want to die, like a lot of reviews say. They're not saying it's on that level, so that means they're idiots. Well, I'm sure a lot of people aren't like that. Maybe they just didn't like the person. I have no idea. I don't know their agenda. But with this film, like, people are just a sequel to Now You See Me. You know, it's alright. For me though, there's something about it that really got under my skin. And then, hopefully I'm gonna. This was the first time, because this is the first video I'm doing, because I don't want to forget this. I don't want to forget all these thoughts because I haven't wrote down. Okay, why did it take me on? It feels so long. It's only 2 hours, but at some points, like okay, this is the point where it's gonna be wrapping up. Like actually no, it's more of like, okay, this is the scene where these two characters work things out. This is the scene where they're like, yay, we did it. This is the scene where hints at a sequel, and I'm just waiting for that scene to be over because I know what it's there for. Say, oh, these characters are good now. Look, this character thinks this. And somewhat of a predictability, like when the scene starts, like, yeah, this scene's just gonna do this thing. It's gonna do this little point, like, to add one little thing, but it just feels so long. It takes so long, just like, okay, just end. I want this. It felt so long to me. Don't make it. No, I'm not gonna go there. Okay, I should probably say my thoughts on the first one. The first one I saw a couple months or so ago. I didn't buy it. I actually borrowed it for my college because you can borrow DVDs. I thought, I've heard a few things about this. I vaguely know about it, so I bought it and I watched it on this here TV screen. Now, I don't own my own private cinema, I believe you not. But what did I thought it was pretty good. As far as I remember, I thought, man, I looked shiny as heck. And I remember it being pretty good. I had some fun with it. Some little magicians, criminals are pretty fun. Pretty good. I mean, like, all these people I recognise. I won't remember the characters' names for the life of me. I'll just say Jesse Eisenberg. But magicians, criminals, pretty creative. I had some fun with it. So I thought it was pretty good. Now with this one, when you first watched them, it was like it's all new to you. Like, oh man, this is creative. I've never seen this before. Magician, criminals, stealing stuff. This is pretty new. I haven't seen this before. But it's the sequel that normally it's never good as the original. I don't know why they say it's never good as the original, because it's basically the same thing. It's the same, stuff you recognise. Because when you watch that first one, it's all new. Like, oh, I've never seen this before. It's all new to me. I like it because it's something I haven't seen before. It got a gimmick or some character. Like, I haven't seen something like this before now. But then the second one gets that character, or it gets that gimmick, or it gets that recognisable imagery or sound or whatever. Hi, Billy. And it just feels old. It feels boring. That's what people say never good the original, because it's basically it's not like most of the time it's not like they rehashed the story. It's not that. It's the thing that, like, it feels dull and old and not new because they get that thing that made it so popular and they just reuse it, and it just doesn't feel so new anymore, or they make it worse. I'm trying to think of an example. Like with Ghostbusters 2. I did not mean it to go to Ghostbusters. My copy of Ghostbusters 1 and 2 was literally right there. I just looked at it and said, okay, I'll go with that. But Ghostbusters 2, there's a reason people say, oh, it's never good to see the original, because it was basically not only, well, as far as what people say, I haven't watched it in a while, they say it rehashed the story, but it's also that, like, oh look, they tried to imitate the catchphrases and also the characters and oh look and them just catching ghosts again, but it doesn't feel as new. It doesn't feel as epic and as amazing as when you first saw it. So with here, when they do their old magician stuff again, I'm like, it's I think it, like in the first one, I remember going, okay, it's pretty impossible, but I'm having fun here. Here was like, yeah, that's just impossible. I mean, it's somewhat cool, I guess. I mean, I'm not that much of a miserable fart. When they were doing the cool magic tricks, that's obviously impossible in real life. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. There was some cool magic type, just godlike stuff here because they're like gods. I think even Jesse Eisenberg said like, oh, the magicians are like, I'm not a god, but look, watch me control the weather. And for a second, it's like, how come it's only raining there, but in the rest of London it's not? And then they explain it. It's in the trailer, when it stops the rain. I was like, that's impossible. And even when they explain, okay, this is actually how I did it, because we know stopping rain is impossible. I'm still like, no, that still doesn't tell me how you did that. That doesn't make that the things you said, the way you said you did it still doesn't make any sense. That those things still wouldn't make it look like you literally just stopped rain. But it's a movie. We have movies about dinosaurs coming back. I should look past it. This isn't Saving Private Ryan. This is a movie about magical criminals. I don't like to be that much of a miserable fart. I feel like it, like when I did Bad Neighbors 2, and I was like, none of it made me laugh. I didn't have fun. It annoyed me, and I feel like a miserable fart. And then I assume people go as a Seth Rogen comedy, which I said. But to me, I just didn't have fun. That's the thing. You can go like, oh, just have fun with it. It's a comedy. You're not meant to take it seriously. There's still the fact that when I was sitting there watching this movie, for the most part, I wasn't enjoying myself. I wasn't having fun. Yes, there was moments when I was like, oh, that's cool. That little magician thing, like throwing the cards and stuff like that. I found it cool, but still in the back of my mind, my logic, like, okay, that's still highly impossible, but still cool. So the magic stuff is cool. Impossible for the most part can't even happen. Most of the magic in this movie, impossible. Literally, like, just saying. I'll just put that out there. It was cool, but when it comes to like the dialogue, the story, pretty darn predictable. And dialogue. I don't know. I bit my lip there. This dialogue. Wow. I turned into wow. No. Don't. Impressionist for hire. No, it's way too late for that. It is 12:06 at night. Wow. But okay, can you tell I'm whispering so I don't wake anybody up? My cat's on the floor. But the dialogue here, I don't know how to explain it. They try to sound so important, like this is so epic, this is so important. Every single line has to sound so, like I don't know what other word to use besides important sounding. Like this is okay. I know. Sorry, I have to use another word besides important. Important synonyms. Synonym rather. Powerful, influential, high-ranking, significant, momentous, consequential. I'll go consequential. It has to sound so consequential and important, and just so by the numbers and cliche. Like I'm trying to think of an example. Like, you put me in there for 18 months, and now I want my revenge. An eye for an eye. I will get those horsemen. You don't know who you're dealing with. You really think you could fool us? You magicians, you just play to your egos. And then they explain what magician means and such, and all the subtext to go with the word magician and being a magician and the egos and the... It never felt real. It never felt like, just genuine. It always just felt so important sounding, and like every single line has to sound like this is the most serious stuff. in your life, even though this movie features, I don't know, pigeons coming out of jackets and stuff. They're trying to. They make magic seem like the gimmick of it. Like, I know there's meant to be some sort of action mystery, but just magic is the gimmick. Hey, here's this movie with Jesse Eisenberg and all these names you recognise, and what's the gimmick? They do magic tricks real good, and they use magic to kick butt and fool you, and they could, and even though it's highly impossible, throw a card across the room that would just go into the other person's hand, and I know they could go over the hand. If you've seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. But it never felt genuine. Magic just felt like the gimmick of this. There's a fight scene. Mark Ruffalo had a fight scene. I'm like, what is this doing here? This is trying to imitate Bourne or something. I've recently seen all the Bourne films to catch up on the new one, Jason Bourne, and I'm just in a Bourne mood because I love those films now, except Bourne Legacy. Just saying. Sorry, Jeremy Renner. No harsh feelings. That movie kind of sucked. Just saying, sir. I'm sorry if I come across very overly sophisticated sometimes. I'm mostly very immature. But anywho, carrying on. Yes, magic being the gimmick. I'm sure like they could switch out magic for theatre, like that. Jesse Eisenberg and Dave Franco and all the Horsemen are actually a theatre group, and they use their knowledge of theatre to fool people and like slip past and trick the world and like be like Robin Hood, give to the poor and the needy. Like, I don't know, they use some sort of lighting to blind people, and then they use like the sandbags attached to strings. That's always a thing in the movie, like they cut it and it lands on someone. That's always a cliche, or well, not really a cliche, you don't really see that in everything, but that's the thing. Like, it just seems like they give it. People say, well, and you're saying like, Luke, how come if you're saying it for this film, which I'm about to say, it just kind of bouncing off the first one to just be a bit of a cash grab. How come you're not saying about the first one? Because again, it felt new. It just but it felt new. It felt I think it used it better. I can't remember really, but I don't know. It just, when I watched it just felt so new when I haven't seen it beforehand. But this, because I've already seen it now, it just felt like a gimmick. Just like, it's how you advertise it. Just advertise it like, oh, magic. That's the thing here. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, the girl, the main cast, in the last movie there was a girl, along with is that sexist for you? The girl with Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco, and I can't remember the other guy's name, the bald guy. I'm terrible at this. I can't remember the actors' names and the characters' names, but I don't know, either because she couldn't do it or she didn't want to do it. They got a new girl here, and they literally introduce her by just giving off like just tons of exposition in a sentence in the beginning, like, oh, did she leave because of this and this and this and this, and it just felt really bad. I've only watched one review of this movie because I just feel like, do I really care enough to watch the other reviews? Like, I think I know the overall feelings of it just by Jeremy John's review. I assume when I watch these other reviews, they're all going to complain, wow, that girl, I believe her character's name was Lula, yes, can't remember the actress's name, nothing against her, because I'm sure if someone said, hey, do you want to be in a movie with Jesse Eisenberg, pretend to be a magician, and said, sure, just tell me what to do and I'll just do it, because I want to be an actor. I'm going to be told that one day. But her character, I'm going to say her character, the way she acted it, really, really annoying, really irritating. I think she attempts to be the comic relief of this film, and this movie tries to be funny at times, very oddly, very out of place for trying to be so important and sounding and consequential. They try these weird moments of comedy and a character I'm going to mention in a minute, and it's so out of place. This girl, she talks really fast and tries to be all over the top and quirky, while with like a Gillian with Ghostbusters, I keep bringing it back to Ghostbusters, I don't know why, it's just happening like that, but with Gillian and Ghostbusters, that's a film about bloody catching ghosts, so she's meant to be quirky and stuff, and I like that, and I actually found it funny. But here, this is a movie that's trying to be like a thriller and mystery, and like they use magic and like they need to be stopped, and saying you're not going to catch the horseman, and this girl would just like, I don't know, just tries to be quirky and over the top. Like some guy tries to pat her down, she takes out her bra and saying, "Oh, you can't touch me there." And she, I don't know, tries to speak the language of the person, of some random person from another country, and it's really annoying. I'm sorry, it irritated me. It felt really bad and forced. I didn't like it. And speaking of bad and forced, the person, I'm gonna look it up. I can't just saying that person because I'm confusing myself. Now you bloody see me. Now you bloody see me. Now you bloody see me, mate. In it. I apologise. I am very cringy. Okay, no, I want to see the rest of the cast. Thank you very much. Woody Harrelson. How can I forget that name? That's such a recognisable name. Oh, I don't forget his name. Wait, was he Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy? He's from Zombieland, I know that. Sorry, I'm digressing. Well, not really digressing, he's from the film. Was he Yondu? No, he wasn't Yondu. That must have been the person from The Walking Dead. Are they the same? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm digressing again. Woody Harrelson, he's scarily similar to the guy from The Walking Dead who also plays Yondu. Maybe because they both have the somewhat same accent and they kind of look the same. That sounds bad. Michael Rooker is related to Woody Harrelson. Confirmed. Illuminati conspiracy. There you go. No, I'll let you out in a minute, Billy. My cat. Hopefully I'm making good time. Okay. I hate this cliche because it's always distracting and it never works. In this movie, Woody Harrelson's character, one of the horsemen, has a twin brother. Yes, he does. And when I say twin brother, I don't mean there's another actor that they got to vaguely look like him and he plays that character. No. They have it so Woody Harrelson plays his twin brother. And what do you know? He's like the total opposite of him. He's like all goofy. He's like ooh, and he's all flamboyant and over the top, and it's distracting. Not only because it's like what the character itself is really bad and out of place and just stupid, but also the fact that I'm just keep going. That's Woody Harrelson's character. He's just dressed differently. There's a reason. And I go to cut to over the shoulder of Woody Harrelson, then over the shoulder of him. Woody Harrelson playing the twin brother. It's distracting and it's bad and it's out of place and it's weird. Why does Woody Harrelson have to play twin brother? What? Sorry, in a minute. Why did it even have to be his twin? Why couldn't they just say brother and have someone else play him? It's distracting and just... Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with this. Give me a minute. Here I have a copy of a film. I'm not really sure how many of you would have heard of this film. Nativity 2 Danger in the Manger. Yes, this exists. Basically, there's a film starring Martin Freeman, Watson, called Nativity, about him. He accidentally lied and now he had to create a really big nativity starring a bunch of kids, and it's actually quite enjoyable. I haven't watched it in a while. One of the songs is on my iPod because it's generally catchy. Yes, it's in a film for about 10-year-olds, but here we have Nativity 2, which I only watched once and I wasn't really focusing because I got it on Christmas a few years ago, and why am I bringing this up is because David Tennant, my favourite actor, my hero, the motivation, inspiration for me wanting to be an actor, he's in the film, and in the film he has a twin brother, and what do you know, in this film he's really on focus, but the brother he's wearing glasses, so you know he's a different person, and he wears blazer, and he's like really, he's a bit of an arsehole, and he's like, I don't respect you, brother, and he has some weird accent. Here is the same thing. Woody Harrelson, that's, a bit subdued and a bit witty, while his twin brother, is like, how you doing, brother? And he's like all really jealous and stuff, and man, different character. Today the BFG and Star Trek Beyond released. Two films I really, really want to see. Yes, I'm seeing BFG tomorrow. I have to wait till Tuesday to see Star Trek Beyond, because I want to see it with my friend, because I get to geek out with someone. But today, I saw Now You See Me Too, which, isn't that bad, but just over those two films, it just kind of, in my opinion, it just seems a bit lesser, nothing against the actors. But okay, where to go now then? Don't really know what else to talk about. Oh, okay, I know what to talk about. Okay, I got one. By the end of this film, I was very confused. What specifically? It confused me because by the end of this film, I was so confused. Whose side which character was on? Like, was Morgan Freeman a good guy or a bad guy? Was he working with why was he working with them? Why couldn't he say this? Why would how come at this point he didn't do this and that? And he only didn't say that because of the stupid reason and just idiotic and this and that. Just by the end, so many characters was working with was doing this and that. I was confused where the characters' intentions lied and which side were they on. And by the end, it just confused me, especially Morgan Freeman. I didn't know whose side he was on at the end. Like, why was he doing this and that? And I just gave up and didn't care anymore. By the way, Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, they're both in this movie. I love that duo. Please maybe there is a movie starring them too, but please do it because they're probably two of the best voices in Hollywood. You know, the Michael Caine, he talks like this, and then the Morgan Freeman. And that was a horrible impression, but maybe it sounds better outside my head. But because in my head I sound like Channing Tatum, as you all know. But those two voices are amazing. Maybe they could. I don't know, make a movie with them two, and they somehow need to. Their nemesis is the duo of Patrick Stewart and Sean Connery. Get Sean Connery out of retirement, because then we'll have those two awesome British voices, and then Patrick Stewart, Sean Connery, Michael Caine, three awesome British voices that you just love to hear. With Stephen Fry, okay, those four awesome British voices. Then nemesis, Morgan Freeman, another awesome voice. He does something. He does something to tick him off. But Michael Caine, he said no. He's a good guy, so he teams up with them, and he needs to clear his name, and it'll just be called an hour and a half of hearing the most soothing voices in Hollywood. There you go. Sure, there's other voices. It'll be the whole cast of just awesome voices. Yeah, so awesome voices to listen to going now, and it'll just make people's ears, pardon my language, orgasm, because it's the best soothing voices in Hollywood. Hire that, put it in a script. That's stupid. Make a sketch of that on YouTube for about £5. Get the money's worth out of that idea. Okay. There's a lot of times like the motivations of the characters just didn't make any sense. Like at one point, Jesse Eisenberg was just an a-hole to Mark Ruffalo for no reason, no idea why, even though he didn't really do that much wrong. And also like, we need to clear our names, even though everyone knows who they are and don't really know how they could wipe their memories or anything. I mean, the bad guy didn't really spread a rumor of them. They just said this Dave Franco's alive and all that. By the way, Daniel Radcliffe is in here. Very over the top as well, as at some point it just becomes, I don't know, some sort of Bond cartoon Saturday morning villain. Like, did you really think you'd defeat me? Do you really think you're so predictable? Yes, he said that. You're so predictable. Daniel Radcliffe is Michael Caine's son. It's weird. And also Mark Ruffalo. This whole thing with his dad dying, and the way he died was through a magic trick gone wrong, even though Mark Ruffalo pretty much survived going through the same thing his dad did, dying, and he didn't know how to get out, but he eventually did, and he survived anyway, even though he had to be saved eventually. But his dad pretty much knew how to do it straight on, and he still died. But what else? Oh, Jesse Eisenberg still does his thing, which he does in every movie, where he moves his hands, and he always looks confused, and he tilts his head, and he talks really, really fast, and he's always confused, and like, this, and he's always acting really smart, when he does that thing. And yes, he's nearly bald because he was playing Lex Luthor. I'm tired of hearing about Batman and Superman. Soon, Ghostbusters. 2016 is the year of it's just getting tired of hearing things that you used to be really excited to hear. Batman, Superman, Ghostbusters, yeah. And now you just hear it so many times, like, okay. Okay. What else? I think that's it. By the way, there's also characters in here. There's a Chinese woman that we barely see, and she's just in there. Some characters are just like, okay, they were pointless, and then they come back and like, okay, they weren't pointless. Okay, I'm at 30 minutes. I should probably stop. And I don't know how I dragged it out so long, but now you see me too. Some most say mediocre. Me, I didn't really like it all that much. I didn't really have fun. I'm just like, that's cliche. That's by the numbers. That's forced. That's it's so stuck up his own behind. I'm not having fun. The magic is pretty cool at moments, but completely illogical. It's totally Spockish. Some of it is very out of place. Like I said, the actors did their job. There's also linking back to Bourne. There was like this, I don't know, FBI agents, this guy and lady, and they do the thing that again they did. Like in the Bourne films, I now love them, but I still found it annoying when basically just 5 minutes of the people going like, okay, Bourne's there, okay, get him, you get on that, you go to that camera, okay, we need to get him, oh my gosh, it's Bourne, look him, okay, get him, oh, he's going up the stairs, quickly, get me CITV for the stairs. Did I just say CITV? No, not children's channel, but that kind of annoyed me, and they're just barking orders, kind of, I don't know why, it just annoyed me, like, okay, you get on that, this and that, and it's just like 5 minutes of them barking orders at how to get Jason Bourne, which they did in every movie, and here they do the same, but with Mark Ruffalo and a horseman, and like, okay, horseman's dead, let's go get him, and it's just random, stereotypical guy going like, you're just an a-hole for no reason, and like, we need to get the horseman, I didn't never like you, Mark Ruffalo, Dylan, whatever, okay, 4 out of 10. There's a lot worse things to be more harsh on, that I should be more harsh on. People say Ghostbusters. No, please, no more. But for this, I just found it like, oh, now you see me. People say they liked it was somewhat successful. Just make a sequel out of it. Just write a script for it. You know, nothing really that special. Something about, I don't know, the eye and them. Just horseman rising up to Daniel Radcliffe, something like that. It just seemed manufactured, and just like the clogs in the machine turning, like stuff like that. I know, it just bugged me. It just bugged me. Some of it was neat. The magic stuff was kind of cool, but then I remember, you know, Woody Harrelson's goofy twin brother and the girl being really annoying and overly quirky and in your face for comic relief, and then I'm like, nah. Nice try. What was my catchphrase? What was my outro? This is Deano reviews and just another screen watcher like you. See it if you wish. If you've seen the first one, just see it. I'd do as you wish. Nah.